to his point, he and I both loved John Zurka's interview the other day.
John Zurka is the Andrew Dice Clay of the red pill.
He is hilarious.
I saw it.
I don't agree with a lot of stuff he says.
Delivery.
No. Yeah.
Brilliant delivery. Now, here's the problem. If John Zurka was here, I would say the same thing to him.
We got to get him in
the issue is, how does it now look if the most popular character in the red pill space calls everyone he disagrees with a homosexual? How does that work?
Every girl a whore.
Every girl's a whore. Every person he does. Now, again, I love his
Not
content.
a hoe,
I can't stop listening to his shit. It's hilarious. He's terrific. But the point is, how does that work? Does that make sense? You're like,
it's weird. It's different. Is he that same way off the mic?
I have no idea.
Never. Okay.
He seems like a really funny guy.
I talked to him I have my DMs in Twitter. I'm doing my best to get him here, but he is a Canadian national, so he has to go back to Canada to renew his visa.
We will put him on Access Vegas.
They might not let him back to Canada or let him out.
John, as soon as you get that, however long you got to spend, you come
we're
right
going to put
here.
you on Access Vegas, and you're going to be surrounded by 11 girls, and you can call them whatever names you want.
John Zurka, this is the home you've been looking for.
This is.
Right here.
Welcome to Vegas.
They might not let him out of Canada.
It's crazy.
They will.
But the point is,
they don't want him.
But you understand?
Go be an American.
Good point, right?
Get out of here.
Do you understand how we're complimenting him as a content creator, but at the same time, if he's going to be the face of a red pill, it's kind of over. You understand what I'm saying? It's not really a movement anymore.
That makes sense.
It was never a movement to begin with. It's all personal branding. It's just one creator. Who's the most popular creator? Who's the loudest voice in the sphere? That's right now. I can see Zurka becoming that. It was Andrew Tate for a while, and it's not anymore. It was Kevin Samuels for a while. It's not anymore. Fresh and Fit are still, to their credit, still a pretty loud voice in the sphere. But I will tell you that and it's not anything that they're doing wrong. It's just that people want they want Andrew Dice Clay.
They want something else.
They want.
How's Whatever doing?
He is so Whatever.
Whatever is a 3-ring circus, and it is a sideshow all at once. Like when
it's got a different demographic. It's got the college girls.
But I will say this: he's very. I will give Brian credit. He's very experimental.
So here's the thing with what let's just say we'll use. Myron and Fresh as the control we'll say we're running an experiment.
Control group.
They're the control group. Myron, what he does is when girls get out of line, he very quickly tells them to stop doing what they're doing. Brian does not do that. Okay, so Myron will do that, and he'll get into a point where he'll start saying things like, "When you lie, they buy." He'll start saying things like, "There's no such thing as an alpha female." Brian does not say those things. Brian, what he does instead,
encourages bullshit.
But the thing is, he gives them more and more rope, and to the point where they say crazy things like that girl Allie, that trans woman Allie, who was like, "I could get any guy I want," and she's like 6'4",
she's
300,
Gorlock the Destroyer.
300,
yeah, maybe more than that. Come on, bro. But the point is, what Brian does that's genius is he gives them rope to hang themselves. And he's actually better at that than me.
Right.
Like, what we do instead, what you'll notice about our show that's different from Fresh and Fit, is that I know all the girls. So when they cap, we don't say stop the cap. I straight up say, I know your fucking ex-boyfriend. You're telling me you want a sapiosexual. We literally had Savannah Storm on the last episode.
Yep.
She goes, I want a sapiosexual. I said, Savannah Storm, your last 2 major boyfriends were a male stripper and a VIP host. Stop saying you're a sapiosexual. And she goes, okay, you got me. That's what's different about our show, is that I know these girls. And the other thing is,
we have the hottest women.
We definitely have the hottest women. The other thing about our show is, on other places,
you guys all have 3 different types of women, though.
We do, because we have Vegas type
UC
girls.
Berkeley girls, right? Is UC Berkeley?
He primarily
Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara.
But by the way, he's not just limited to that, though. I made the mistake. Primarily, he sources the co-eds from UCSB, but then he'll have Gorlock the Destroyer on there to just throw a monkey wrench.
And then Fresh and Fit has a different.
I would pay to fly her out to do.
You all have different looks.
I want Allie right now. Yes, no, they all have different looks. Well, the thing with the thing with Fresh and Fit is that with their look, because they do 3 shows a week with up to 10 girls, it gets to the point where they have to go over the same girls over and over again, and it's hard. It gets harder and harder for them.
Oh yeah,
because we do one every 2 weeks. I know every girl. We don't have to have a lot of girls that'll repeat, and we do have a lot of girls with huge followings who are really who are pretty attractive. One of the things I try to do though is you'll notice we had Lieutenant Amy. Amy, I forgot what her last name was. She was she was a lieutenant in the Army, right? And we had another girl, Katie Moore, who has a master's degree. I always try to find at least 2 girls that are married. I always try to find some master's degrees, and everyone else can just be OF girls. And so that's what I try to do with my quota.
Do you remember what was it, the super chat? They were attacking her, Amy,
Yeah.
For like, oh, well, you were just in the army because you were just have big tits.
And she's like, actually, I'm the first woman to ever make it through fucking jump school.
She pushed back.
She went to 82nd. She went to jump school in Fort Benning.
You should watch the episode. I don't remember exactly what she said.
That's where I was at.
She was like, I'm the second woman. She's like, I'm the second woman
how
ever
old
to
is
do
she?
that. Gosh.
She's got to be in her...
No, she's not quite 40. I don't think she's quite 40.
She's probably late 30s, though.
Yeah, but she went... She was a staff sergeant and got promoted to lieutenant. She was second lieutenant, got out as second lieutenant.
A butter bar?
Yeah. So that's what she did. Anyway, the point is, no matter what they asked for, we brought Miss Nevada, not sort of Miss Nevada, not a Miss Nevada candidate. Fucking Tiana Jacqueline was on the show, and they called her a ran-through whore. That's the point. Like, no matter that's the thing.
Who did it? The other girls?
That's why.
No.
That's why I gave up on trying to
the chat.
Like, oh, you need normal girls. So, well, like who?
So
I had a girl on here that made top 1% income.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we get all these floozies. I'm like, floozy? The girl works for an investment management firm.
Again,
she does 1% income.
Yeah, but look at her. Look at her, Davert.
There's no right answer. Like at some point,
you can't win.
Ready? Here's two things. Ready?
Kobayashi Maru.
This thing here is called hold women accountable. This thing here is like feel good about holding women accountable. 304. You're a dumb hoe, and then like you just feel good. Just you're twinkling your fucking butthole because you're so excited to call women 304s. This is make money and have sex with the most beautiful women on the entire planet while having the physique you always wanted. I'm only interested in this. I don't give a fuck about this. And the problem is, while this thing I don't give a fuck about, you can get 1 million subs on YouTube only focusing on this. And that's the problem. When you do this stuff, it's good. Like, again, the thing, Myron and Fresh are becoming multi-deca-millionaires from doing this. So I don't blame them at all. These guys are taking action and they're killing the game by doing this. But what the problem is some of our audiences, all of our audiences, Pearl's audience, whatever podcast audience, No Fugazi, whoever, part of our audiences are getting into this point where every girl is a whore and there's no excuse, and every one of them comes on the show as a whore and they're all terrible. And my question is, did you go to the gym today? What did you do to build your business today? Are you making
revenue?
Yeah, did you increase your revenue?
And by the way,
did you make an excuse for why you didn't fucking wake up today? Do you make an excuse for why you don't why you don't read anymore? Is that the reason why?
That is
smoking weed all day long, drinking all day, smoking weed all day.
That is not limited to just like the ghetto ass shows, right? It's not just limited to like you're a whore. It's also a guy like Michael Knowles who comes from like what's the Blaze or Daily Wire, comes to whatever podcast and does essentially the same thing, only he does it with a Bible in his hand. You're not living right. You're not living standards that Jesus said you should live to, and blah, blah, blah. And he'll do essentially the same thing that you were just talking about. He'll just do it with a suit and a tie, better dressed, more well-spoken.
Different audience.
It's Jesus smuggling and bringing a Bible in there and doing exactly the same thing
100%.
and wagging a finger at these guys, doing exactly the same thing. And I will guarantee you that you will see more of that in the future. We are probably about 2 months, 3 months away from a Daily Wire, a Blaze, or a PragerU new show that does exactly that. Because that show that when he went on whatever podcast, that got huge numbers for them.
Yeah.